Hello out there, you wonderful people. This is Andre, the Game Idea Guy. Thank you once again for lending me your time and your ear listening into another new video series from me for my channel. And I'm basically going to do what ifs, going over different things in the gaming industry that I would like to have seen go a different way and where they could have gone under certain circumstances. So, for the first video, the very first topic, which I know is going to be a very, very interesting topic, and this is something that's very big in the fighting game community, and that's if Sheng actually would have become a character in Street Fighter. Now, just to break down the history really quickly, Sheng was actually a translation error in Street Fighter 2. I don't remember which version of Street Fighter 2, but it was a translation error when it was brought over to the US, where Ryu would say, "You must defeat Sheng to stand a chance if once he beat you." When the actual translation was supposed to be, "You must defeat my Dragon Punch to stand a chance." Both of those statements leave a little bit more to desire. Like, one statement says, you have to find a way around this technique Ryu knows in order to beat him. And then another says, there's this other mysterious person out there who we know nothing about that you have to find and beat in order to be able or capable of defeating him. Now, I mean, that's a bold statement, because like when you think Sheng you're like, okay, this is somebody that Ryu's trained with. This is somebody that's taught him. This is somebody who's supposed to be above his level, and he's telling you you need to beat that dude in order to fight him. And that concept to me is way better than the Dragon Punch thing, to be honest. Like, I prefer that over the Dragon Punch thing. Though both statements are strong and bold, I definitely prefer that. So, if Sheng was a character that was created for Street Fighter, based on I think it was Electronic Gaming Monthly. It was like, sometimes I think it's Game Informer, but I'm pretty sure it was Electronic Gaming Monthly that did the April Fool's spread where they had Sheng fighting Ryu in Street Fighter 2, and I think the way you had to fight him was identical to how you have to fight Akuma or Goki in Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, where you had to defeat everyone without losing. Like, I mean, I think you could lose a round or two, like, but you had to defeat everyone without losing. And I think you had to get at least, I think, what was it? You had to achieve like 5 perfect rounds or something like that to make Akuma pop up. I mean, I know I've done it before, but like, I'm trying to think. Either way, I'm looking at it and I'm like, that would have been a real cool concept to just go ahead and do that. But like, I would have loved to have seen that. Like, I would have been all for that shit. Because to me, like, that would have been cool. Like, and like, if we'd have got Sheng and Akuma at the same time, like, a lot of things in the Street Fighter series, as far as the story goes, could have been fixed. Now, like in Street Fighter Alpha, where we're supposed to think that Goken is dead. I'm fine with thinking Goken is dead in Street Fighter Alpha if when we get to Street Fighter 4, instead of he put himself into a coma for who knows how many goddamn years, that the second fight between him and Akuma was so brutal that Akuma nearly killed him until Sheng stepped in because he was there to oversee the match. He was there as the third pillar to their style of fighting. And he was the neutral point between Goken and Akuma. Whereas Akuma went down the path of the Satsui no Hado, Goken went down the path of, what was it, the Fist of Nothingness. And Sheng could have been the centerpiece. He could have been the middle guy that was a balance of the two. from like that was taught by their master Gotetsu. And I think Gotetsu himself was more or less a balance of the two styles. Like I think he leaned more toward the Satsui no Hado, but I think he was a balance of the two styles. So that would have made a lot of sense. And like, and we all know that, like, I think it was supposed to be Akuma that did beat Gotetsu. Like I think he had killed him before fighting Goken. If I remember how the story goes, I'm like, I could be wrong. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. But either way, just thinking about that, like, I'm like, that's actually a pretty awesome thing. Like, and that way it would make more sense as to why Goken shows back up in Street Fighter 4. Because he didn't die. Like, but he didn't put himself into a self-induced coma and just survive for who knows how long with no food, no water, nothing to replenish his body, nothing to give him nutrients. Like, I'm all for stretching the imagination and pushing the limits of believability. But it was years. It wasn't like this was a month or 2 to 3 months. This was years that Goken was supposedly dead. Like, if he was knocked into a coma and Sheng, being the other master, was the one that stepped in and stopped Akuma from getting the decisive killing blow, and he took Goken to keep watch on him and make sure that his body stayed in good health while he was in that coma, it would make a lot of sense. And then you could have Sheng in Street Fighter 3 opposing Ryu going after Akuma to try to fight him. Or hold on, no. I should have said in Alpha. You could like I said Street Fighter 3. In Alpha you could have like Alpha 2, because that one overwrites Alpha 1. But in Alpha 2 you could have Sheng step in, like, you don't need to fight him. Like, he's a path you should not go down. Like, he could have been the voice of reason. Like, noticing that Ryu had the potential for the Satsui no Hado, and he's seen it in him. Like, because of training with him in place of Goken, like, he's seen the flare-ups and how Ryu's rage can sometimes sputter out. Like, that doesn't stop Ryu from facing him, because I'd say Sheng could be his, like, you know, mid-boss instead of Sakura. And, like, and then he still goes on to fight Akuma and still comes back with the empty feelings and stuff, and needing to journey further and build himself up. Then in Street Fighter 3, this would be where Akuma is actually going after Ryu, because he sees that he's become powerful enough that he's actually interested in fighting him to the death. Like, not saying that they haven't had a couple scuffles before, like, but he's actually interested in truly putting Ryu to the test by Street Fighter 3. Like, a lot of that makes a whole lot of sense. Like, and then in Alpha 3, and I skipped Alpha 3. Alpha 3, Sheng could have been there to keep Bison from trying to claim Ryu's body. Well, like, these are all plot points where this character could have easily just slid right into place, and it would have made sense if he had been made. Then, like I said, by Street Fighter 4, like, we don't get the weird, I was in a coma, I was in a self-induced coma for blank number of years, and no one knew nobody knew I was alive. Like, no, like the whole Sheng taking him, hiding his body, making sure his body had nutrients and shit in it. That makes more sense. Making sure that his body was preserved so that when he did wake up, he wouldn't be sickly. Like, that makes a whole lot more sense to me. Like, Street Fighter 5, I don't really have any experience with. I only know what I've seen on other people's videos about it. And honestly, I mean, even though I'm partially interested in figuring out what the story is to Street Fighter 5, I'm also partially not interested in touching it at all. So it's like one of those things. Like, the only way I would probably play that game is if somebody bought that for me. So I don't think I'd be touching that one. But I think a lot of that would have been like that would have been really cool for the series had that been the case. Like that would have been awesome for the series had that been the case if Sheng Long was actually created and incorporated into the story. Like I thoroughly believe that he would have been an amazing addition to the roster, and that Capcom's storyline would have just benefited from it completely. So, like, and then there's the possibility of him also having his own trained students that have slightly different moves from Ken and Ryu, but you could tell that they still share the same fighting style. Like, and they could have been characters that could have been in Street Fighter. Like, so, like, not only would you gain the Sheng Long character, but you'd also be able to create other pupils that match up to Ken and Ryu, which, like, just makes it, like, for me, I'm like, that just, it spreads it out. Like, I know, yeah, but, like, people are like, well, more Shoto characters, why do we need more? Like, but to me, from a storytelling aspect, it makes a lot more sense. That's all I'm saying. But I don't want to push on too long. Tell me your thoughts below. What do you think could have been added if Sheng Long actually was a character in Street Fighter? And what other benefits do you guys see that Capcom would have had from it? But that's it for me. Thank you very much for your time and your ear. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I'm going to be doing Sean Matsuda next week for Street Fighter 3. If he was a lead character, and I actually have reason to believe that he was actually meant to be a lead character. But I'll give all that stuff, like I said, next week. Thank you very much for your time and your ear. And I've said that I don't know how many times, but anyway, enjoy your games, people. Peace out.